It can be gaming, it can be music, it can be creativity, like whatever it is. I recommend that you find your thing. And the way to find that thing is by learning and exploring. It's not just going to come to you and hit you. Like you have to go through that process. And then after you figure out what that thing is, it's starting before you're ready.
Yeah, you brought something up very interesting there. Is the learning aspect. And I mean, I own a branding agency. I mean, that's what we do, and so I'm a perfectionist at heart. I've always been a perfectionist, and I've actually had to take a step back, and be like, all right, like this doesn't have to be perfect. Let's go this out. Let's learn, especially with like our YouTube channel. And the reason I bring that up is because I think that, as you talked about with athletes finding their passion outside the game, is grit and perseverance. I think, and a lot of what we try to preach when we try to help with is, perseverance isn't about just working hard and getting past something. It's like you want to find that passion, because if you don't find that passion, then it's going to be a lot harder for you to persevere past the hard times. So have you read Grit? Has that been a book that you've read?
I haven't. I need to.
It's a good book. It's a good book. I'll send you. I have so within the Grit book, it has this chart, and we use it for a lot of our personal branding stuff. But there's a chart, and it basically goes through a numbered list of just where you are and certain things in your life, and what you're passionate about, and what your why tends to be. And as an athlete, you've really had grit and perseverance through playing the game and going through even the corporate world. And it's about finding that other passion that, you're really good at, and you really enjoy doing. And as athletes, you have this capability of combining your story with your other passion. And that's really what it comes down to, right?
Yep. Exactly. It's like, the whole idea of like being multifaceted, and athletes realizing that you're actually already multifaceted, like because your whole life you've been doing both. You've been doing your school and your sport, and you've like done those both at the highest level to get you to where you went in college or whether it was professionally. And so a lot of athletes feel like they're starting from scratch when it comes to figuring out like, what do I talk about outside of my jersey, or like what do I do outside of it. But it's like just channel that ability to be multifaceted and multi-hyphenate, and take like that same passion and energy that you pour into your sport and pour it into another outlet. But that's where the learning comes in. It's like you have to figure out what that thing is for you. Like, don't just follow what other people are doing or what athletes are told to do, or like launch a merch line because athletes are told they had to launch merch lines one day and every athlete feels like they have to do it. Like, maybe a better investment of your time is growing your brand in the direction that you want to go beyond sports, and doing that through content. And so that's where I feel like there's just a little bit of a mindset shift of like, what does it actually mean to go and build your brand?
Yeah, and I think there's just so much content out there these days that it makes it hard for people think that they're going to get that instant gratification. We work with a company that works with retired athletes, and we talk to a lot of the retired athletes, and they're always like, how do you do that hack on YouTube, or how do you do that hack on LinkedIn or Instagram? And I'm like, there is no hack. It's the learning, right? It's the learning. Like, you need to learn to get past certain hurdles and record. And I think that's the one thing that athletes and entrepreneurs tend to, especially at the beginning, tend to be worried about. I mean, I still know I'm still learning to express myself and be vulnerable with certain things. I mean, I think we all are. And one of those things is really come down. It's like, it's okay to fail. It's okay to find things that don't work. It's okay to do this, but expressing that to your audience, because I think that my definition of perfectionism is non-perfectionism. Like, you can't be being perfect means you're unperfect, and that's, I think that's how we all are. So why don't you tell me a little bit about like where you're seeing yourself go? Like what are some of the things that you're seeing in the world of sports and entrepreneurship that you're very passionate about bringing to the world?
Yeah. I see myself just continuing to iterate on this idea. And I think today it's about like building the model, right? Building the model of a creator business and like walking the talk. I think it's really important for athletes or creators, like when you're listening to people, like have these people done what you are trying to accomplish? I think that's what so many great personal brands or creators or entrepreneurs that break through do. They have that factor of like, I have tried and failed and tried and failed and figured it out and kept going and found success. And that is all captured in their brand and their business. And that's what makes it great. And so that's why I'm really passionate today about doing what I am teaching to other people. There's this founder, Wes Cow of Maven, which is like a creator education platform. And she has this tweet. You should like clip it. I'll send it to you if you can add it in here. But she was like, personal credibility is more important than a personal brand because, especially with Chat GPT and all these AI tools, like people can come on the internet and say anything today. Like
Yeah.
I literally went to Chat GPT when everyone was raving about it in December and was like, write a post about the future of the athlete creator economy. And it wrote out this perfect piece that literally sounded like something I would have said.
Mhm.
And it's like, okay, if anyone can copy and paste this and put it into like, here's where I think this is going, and here's where I think this is going, what's going to be valuable? People want to learn from people that have done it. And so that's the advice I give to founders that like, because now founders are also creators too, or we feel like there's pressure to always build our brands and stuff. Like if you don't know where to start, like start talking about what you've done, like start talking about like steps in the journey that you've accomplished. And that's a great way to fuel it back into your business so it doesn't feel like it's this thing that doesn't connect to what you're doing. But yeah, all that to say, like today I'm excited about like doing what I'm trying to help other people do.
Yeah, I love what you said. I want to touch on two subjects with what you said there. One, I'm 5.5 years in myself, and what you said about exploring the journey. There's so many, multimillionaires, which we'll get into that in a bit, but out there that like they forget the journey. They forget this journey between, a certain amount of success to, the next step of success. And so I'm at a point now where, I have employees that do certain things. And the hardest challenge for me has been that my employees they don't see or feel like the stuff I do with the growth. And so it's how do you articulate that to the employees so that you can kind of get what you mean to say. But with what you said about success, and I think this is a huge one right now, especially with all of the stuff out there saying how to make $1 million tomorrow, how to make $3 million tomorrow, it's a cringe subject for me. It's such a cringe subject. Because it gets clicks for people, and I get it, but at the same time, I'm like, this isn't valuable, like at the end of the day. And so it puts a lot of stress on athletes, on entrepreneurs, on trying to reach a milestone that honestly, they're not going to be happy once they get there. And so you really mentioned success. And so as you've kind of gone through and you've started to develop your business, what has your mindset shifted towards what has been success to you? Like, what do you consider to be success?
Oh, I love that. These are great questions. No, I love that. I think it's just a great way to talk about like the journey of building a brand or a business that isn't like all in the tactics. So I think success is like one, doing what I said I'm going to do. And that's on the point of like personal accountability. I think that is really, really, really what success is. There are like a few books that You know those books, like it's probably like Grit for you. There's a couple for me that will always stand out as like, wow, this book like got me together, or like it came in my life at the moment that I needed it.
It's crazy how that happens. Yeah, yeah.
Whew, it's crazy. But one of them was We Should All Be Millionaires, by Rachel Rogers, amazing Black woman entrepreneur. And then another one was The 12-Week Year, which to me wasn't so much about the 12-week year, it's about the difference of execution, and that being the key factor of like people that don't do what they say they're going to do and the people that break out and find success. So I think success to me is like doing what I say I'm going to do and being consistent and holding myself accountable to like taking this risk and making it happen. Like if you are going to step out and try to build something from zero, like show up for yourself and do that. And to me, that is success. So like I think success is in like the daily moments of that for me. And then also I think success is like corny, but like the impact, like when you actually see that what you are doing is working. And I was just talking about this with another creator podcaster the other day. It's like every creative has a bunch of things that they try that do not work and like actually like flop and are cringe and are just like, okay, this did not go how I thought it was going to be. And then all those things lead to the thing that does work. And like the creator always knows when they've come across that thing, like, okay, this is it. Like I have found like content market fit, which is like, product market fit in the startup world, but for creators like content market fit, like I have found where my creativity, where the output connects with my audience, and it just takes off. And I feel like even regardless of like what your audience size is, whether it's like a million or 100,000 or in the hundreds, like I feel like creators should define that as success. Like if this is actually connecting with people in a world where we all literally just scroll, and you don't remember whose post you just saw, if people are literally going out their way to be like, hey, this left a big impact, or they're commenting or they're sharing or they're telling someone, hey, I shared this episode with this person, like you should count that as success.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And to all our listeners out there, I mean, it's okay for success to, switch and change. I mean, I like to always promote where I'm at in business and my failures and my passions, because I'm not perfect. We've tried just as many things all the time. I mean, one of the biggest things we're doing right now, and me personally, is, me owning a business and being a content creator on the side, is I've got really in routine of getting scripts written, going through the internal of just being by the computer and writing, speaking off the script. I'm at the point now, like my year goal has just been, I'm going to be more vulnerable. Like I need to be more vulnerable. I need to start speaking and going past certain pain points, because I'm in the evolution of my business. And so I've just now started to, be more open to freestyling my videos. And I'm actually in the process right now of learning public speaking, because I'm like, you know what, like I need to hit past this fear point if I really want to hit my purpose. And so it's okay to have different success points and be able to succeed. But if money is the only way people look at success, then we'd all be lonely and I'll be stressed.